Steve Liesman, now.
No change in the Federal Reserve funds rate, staying at a net level of 4.25% to 4.5%. Some really interesting stuff in the forecast. Let me tell you about the assessment of the economy first. They're saying the economy continues to expand at a solid pace. Unemployment remains low. Inflation is somewhat elevated. And they talk about the idea that swings in net exports, all that front running, is affecting the data. Now, the Fed forecasts increased the inflation outlook. They reduced growth for 2025. This is a second step in a row that the Fed has taken toward a more stagflationary forecast of higher inflation and lower growth. The forecast shows risks are to the upside for inflation and to the downside for growth. Let me give you some numbers here. 2025 GDP, now 1.4%. Down from 1.7, which was down from 2.1, so pretty much a very similar drop. Core PCE, 3.1 from 2.8, this is for 2025, from 2.5. So two big step ups in the outlook for core PCE this year. Risks on core weighted to the upside. Unemployment, 4.5, had been 4.4 before that. 4.3, so steadily stepping up on the unemployment outlook. Now, the question you really wondered about, which is, what did they do with the outlook for rates? Still 3.9% for this year. 7 officials did not want a rate cut at all. That's up from 4 in the prior outlook, but it remained the same because some other folks came down a little bit. 2026, the conversation Brian and I were having just before at 1 o'clock, they did eliminate one rate cut down to 3.6 from, or sorry, up to 3.6 from 3.4. And then again, that remains in place for 2027, 3.4 from 3.1. Inflation is seen declining in 2026. That's important. We passed through it, but not as much as previously forecast. Growth recovers in 2026, but again, less than previously forecast. The Fed says uncertainty remains high about all of its forecasts. The Fed said in the statement that uncertainty has diminished, but remains elevated. But if you look at the measures of uncertainty, which we talked about at 1 o'clock with Brian, those all remain elevated. Guys, back to you.